Hi guys, it's Jasper here, and in today's video I wanted to talk a little bit about AdThrive and why it's my preferred ad company for the larger and more established websites. So I already gave it away, AdThrive is my preferred ad network for any larger websites, and there are several reasons for that. So in this video we'll be going over one of my sites that is on AdThrive and see what kind of RPMs it's bringing in and some of the other statistics. And we'll also be discussing why I am such a big fan of AdThrive and why I expect that many of my future websites will eventually end up with them. So let's just start off with discussing why I'm such a big fan of AdThrive, because I really believe that working with companies you actually enjoy and have a good relationship with is very important to the health of your business. So the very first thing I really enjoy about AdThrive is that they are known as one of the premium ad networks. Ending up with AdThrive is something that basically any website is striving towards. And the main reason for the great things everybody hears about AdThrive and why many websites strive to be on there is because they provide great RPMs. With AdThrive, I usually see much higher RPMs than with the likes of Ezoic. And Ezoic is amazing for a starting website, but AdThrive is really where you want to be once you're growing. They also have a very personalized team, so you have a few people that are working on your site and they're making tweaks, and every few weeks to a few months I actually get an email from AdThrive saying that there are some certain tweaks that can be made to increase the RPMs or anything of the sort. So they really are taking care of you, and when you take all these things and combine them, it really shows why AdThrive is such an end station for many websites. Another great thing that AdThrive has, but that many other ad networks also have, is that AdThrive allows you to upload videos for video ads. So later on we'll go a bit more in depth on these video ads, but just a quick summary. It's basically a short video you make yourself, usually around 1 minute, and AdThrive actually plays a video ad in front and behind it. And these video ads have extremely good RPMs. So with the implementation of video ads, you can expect your RPMs to grow by about 20%. So that's a huge increase for relatively little work. So I'm personally extremely happy with AdThrive, and let's actually dive into the computer and see what kind of numbers I'm making, what kind of RPMs I have, and how much I'm actually earning with AdThrive. So currently I only have one website with AdThrive, and the main reason for that is that AdThrive isn't easy to join. At the very minimum you need 100,000 page views a month, and so far I only had one website reach that point. This is my English beauty site. If you've been following my income report series, you know all about this website. This was my main website, which I grew to around 240,000 page views. But before this website joined AdThrive, it was with two other networks. So the very first one was Ezoic, which I joined when I had around 2,000 page views. And my RPM, or how Ezoic calls it, your EPMV, was actually around $9.60. This wasn't too bad, but it also wasn't too great. So $9.60, I was actually pretty happy with it. It made me my first money online, and I was fine with it, but I did want to scale it up. But this low RPM already showed me that the niche I chose might not have the highest RPMs in general. So that's really a trend that we'll see continuing on from now. So somewhere near the end of 2019, I switched from Ezoic to Mediafine. And in Mediafine I stayed until June of 2020, along the end of June 2020. And in that period of time I had an average RPM of around $17.50. Now this is a lot better than what Ezoic provided me. It was almost double. And I was extremely happy with them in this period of time. But where I was going, I wanted to try out AdThrive because I heard so many great things about them. And nearing the end of June of 2020, I finally had enough page views to join AdThrive, or at least to apply. So now that I've been with AdThrive since the end of June of 2020, I'm seeing an average RPM of around $19.50. So this is only a little bit better than what Mediafine provided me with, but it's still better. Now this isn't to say that AdThrive is necessarily better than Mediafine, because I have heard varying reports, but AdThrive in my case is providing me with a higher RPM. So in the time I've been with AdThrive, I made quite a lot of money. I am not even in there for a year, and I've already made over $21,000 with them. So in the time that I've been with AdThrive, I sent them around 1.3 million page views. And these 1.3 million page views, they made me over $21,000 in under a year. So that's great to see, and I'm really looking to get more websites on here and see how high I can push these numbers. And lastly, I just quickly wanted to go over one of my best months, because these numbers are just too insane to not share. So So my best month in terms of advertising was November of 2020. This was right before the core update hit and it was Q4, so advertising rates were growing through the roof. So my RPM started at pretty low, actually $17, and it ended the month at an RPM of $37. So that's a $20 RPM difference. Insane, of course. And yeah, this was just a crazy month. This month alone, I just made under $6,000, and that's just crazy to see. Especially seeing that at Black Friday, I made just under $500 with advertising alone. So yeah, those are just some crazy numbers that I don't think I would have seen with Ezoic. Of course, I would see the same sort of trajectory, but maybe a little bit lower in terms of RPMs. Of course, I can't really compare these because Ezoic was back in 2019 and we're already in 2021. And I can't really compare these with Mediafine because the time periods are a bit different. But just in general, I think these are some great numbers to see, and I wouldn't mind having a few more sites on such an ad network. But what's actually required to join AdThrive? AdThrive is actually pretty strict in their application process. The very first requirement that you need to meet is a 100,000 page views a month website. And 100,000 page views a month is pretty difficult. 100,000 page views is a lot. And many of the websites will simply just not get there. So such a high traffic threshold already eliminates a very large portion of the websites that are online. But in addition to the large traffic numbers that are required, you also need to have a majority coming from the United States. And that's because many of the advertising, the companies that are actually wanting to advertise, they want to advertise towards American audiences. So they're prepared to pay a little bit more in advertising money just to reach a primarily American audience. So this is your second requirement, and luckily this one is often pretty easy to meet. I personally had a total of 40% from the United States, and this was enough for my site to join, but I also heard people being rejected because they only have 50% or 60% from the United States. It's really a case-to-case basis, and that's the third thing that AdThrive does. They really take every website that applies and they give it a manual review. So there will be an actual human being assessing your site and seeing if this is a website that AdThrive wants to be connected with. And one of the main things that influences this decision is that you actually have unique content. And of course the site has to look nice. It doesn't need to be pretty, but it just needs to be user-friendly. And unique content, of course, is something we should always do, no matter if you're applying to AdThrive or if you're just building a website for anything else. Having unique content is always extremely important. And in the manual review, the person that's reviewing your site will also look if your site is secure, and it needs to be HTTPS. And this is extremely easy to do with a simple SSL plugin, and it just ticks that box for you. And the last requirement you need to meet is the fact that you should not have a bad history with other ad companies. So there should not be any infringements, you should not have been banned from any other ad companies, and that basically just ensures that you are a quality customer to them. So overall, the AdThrive requirements aren't simple to meet, but they are definitely doable, and a lot of websites are actually on AdThrive. And yeah, the 100,000 pages a month might seem a little bit too much for you for now, but who knows, in a year or 2 years, maybe you're there. Now lastly, I also wanted to focus a little bit on the video ads aspect, because video ads is something that isn't really talked about in my opinion. So video ads are basically the advertisements that are playing in front and behind a video. You basically make these videos yourself, and the goal is to, or the suggested length is to make it 1 minute or a little bit shorter, a little bit longer can be fine as well, but basically around 1 minute. And these videos, they will be played once someone visits your site or one of your articles. So if someone opens your article and scrolls a bit down, a video will pop up, and the video of course has to be relevant to your niche. But in front there will be an ad, and these ads have extremely nice RPMs. They are much higher than your normal display ads in your article, and they can bring in a substantial amount of money. Now, oftentimes these ads are clicked away and they are just simply not playing anymore, so they won't make you money. But even the lower number of plays are getting much higher RPMs than the normal ads that can be clicked away. So AdThrive has a very simple process for this. You just make the video yourself, and then you can upload it to their media player, and that's basically all there is to it. Just email one of your account reps and just ask them, is there anything more I need to do? Do you need to enable anything? and they basically just take care of it for you. The only thing you need to do is make the video and make sure that it's relevant. So with all that being said, my final recommendation, of course, I'm extremely happy with AdThrive. I don't think I'll be leaving them anytime soon, and in fact I will probably be signing up even more websites once they are meeting the requirements. AdThrive is just an amazing end station for any website that you make, and all my personal websites, my goal is to have them with either Mediavine or AdThrive once they are grown out. So although the requirements are somewhat difficult to meet, just keep going and maybe one day you'll get there. I know certainly that I didn't expect to join AdThrive within 2 years, so who knows what might happen for you. So that's basically it for the video. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.